I'm Mary Kale Stowe, and I wanted to talk to you today about one of the common misconceptions about gardening, and that is if you don't have soil, you can't have a garden. I have to say, when we moved down here to the Ozarks, that was one of my biggest wake-up calls, and that is that we had no soil. I'm going to turn here a little bit. I'm going to switch the camera around, and I'm just going to kneel down here and look. This is Ozark soil, or what passes for it. It's very rocky. It's very sparse. What happened is basically when the settlers came here in the 1800s, they logged all the nice big beautiful trees, they broke up the prairies, and this is what's left. And compared to the rich, dark, black Iowa soil, this was a wake-up call. So how do I garden? At the bare spot in my bed where I pulled up my kohlrabi yesterday. Kohlrabi is a cold season plant. It grows best in the late spring. Now that we're into June, the temperature is close to 90 out here. It doesn't do so well. So you can see I do need to weed, so bear with me, but I've got green beans started here. That is my zucchini plant. I'm going to be walking back there shortly. I've got some green onions, and then I've got some containers. So I'm going to walk through here, first of all, and show you the zucchini, because it is freaking awesome. So this is my zucchini plant. And so you're looking at a zucchini leaf. I'm going to put my hand down there just to give you an idea of how big these leaves are. They're huge. And we're going to look in there. Look, there is a beauty about ready to be harvested. This is my summer squash. I've got some tomatoes over there. Now you may be wondering what the white stuff is, and I'm going to talk about that here shortly. So I'm going to go back to my little pot of dirt. My goal today is to do a second crop of green beans, because I love green beans, and if you keep planting them about every 3 weeks apart, you can harvest green beans up until frost. So I had talked about not having dirt. I'd shown you our ground. That is definitely does not look the same as what I'm showing you now. And the reason why is simple. This is on its way to becoming soil, but it is not soil yet. We're going to go take a trip to Firefly here in the front. There's Mr. Thunder, and this is my girl Fortune. They are my soil making machines. They do what horses do best, which is they eat, they look pretty, they're cute, they think I'm going to feed them right now, and they poop. And horse manure makes great garden soil. So you can see there's a shed back there. I have been cleaning out that shed because the people who lived here before didn't do it. And there is stuff that is composted down to the most beautiful, rich soil. So back to the garden. Between my tomatoes, my okra, and my zucchini and summer squash. And this is about as close to the original form as is still left here. I scooped this out late this spring when it wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold, and this is on its way to becoming well-composted horse manure. This paper is exactly what you think it is. It's shredded paper. This is courtesy of my rabbit in the office, Mr. DeHopper. He's inside enjoying the air conditioner. Bunnies produce the best garden material. It makes the best garden, the best fertilizer. Because bunnies eat plants, it's nice and nutritionally balanced. You can hear the baby roosters crowing in the background. And so what I have been doing is building up this bed here in front of my office, and I have been building it up with horse manure, which doesn't sound very sexy, and let's be honest, it isn't. I'm going to walk back again. I need to weed. But it makes the best soil, because now that you look at this, after having sat and having had the kohlrabi grow in it, it's dirt. I mean, you really cannot tell the difference between this and very much soil, except for it's dry because we totally need rain down here. So let's plant those green beans. See, this is my package of contender bush beans from Morgan County Seed. And I have made several different hills of beans. My grandma always taught me to plant them 2 by 2. So you can see I've got a little row there, a little row here. They're about a hand's width apart, and maybe 3 fingers here. Let me get my phone there. 3 fingers apart, and the rows are about a hand's width or so. That's a little close, but I tend to do or try to do more square foot gardening. So on top of this, I'm going to take my bag of organic hummus and manure. I got this at Walmart for $1.67. Beans need to be buried about an inch down. And so I'm going to take this and cover up my rows. Now, you should be able to see the different color rows, and that's just where I planted the beans. The organic stuff that I've added will mix in with what is there, and by this time next year, you won't even be able to tell this original form. That is the good news about this. As it composts, it breaks down. The plant's roots help it. And so in a way, without hydroponics, without anything fancy, I am making my own soil, and I'm just giving my beans a good watering to get them a good start. So since it's hot, I've went and stood underneath the shade of my oak tree to finish up this video. But I just wanted to say that it doesn't matter where you live, whether you have soil or not, you can create your own soil, and if, like me, you're lucky enough to have horses, they will do the job for you gladly, and it'll be just for the cost of some hay and grain. I hope this has helped inspire you to create your own garden. I am Mary Kalestow for Charmed Chicken.